and welcome to B&T. This is Bishop and I am Tobias, and we are going to be releasing some reviews of our year in review of all the great films that came out in 2017. Our first review is going to be Get Out. It is a new kind of psychological thriller, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily categorize it as a horror movie, but it was directed by the one and only Jordan Peele, who became famous through the sketch comedy series Key and Peele. What were your expectations for this movie?
I basically had zero expectations because I heard that the dude from Key and Peele was making a horror movie. And no, not Keegan-Michael Key, no, Jordan Peele. And just like, okay, that's cool. And then the trailer dropped, and I thought it looked very interesting.
I was a little taken back by it because the first major release Jordan Peele did, like first widescreen, was Keanu. And if you've seen Keanu, it's funny, but it's nowhere near great. I thought it was a pretty bold and brave thing to do, especially with the subject matter of the movie. A little background on it. Literally a horror story about being black. I don't want to go too in depth because if you haven't seen that, I do recommend you check it out because it is something great. It is one of the best original movies I've seen this year, if not ever. What I loved most about Get Out, the tone of this movie is one of the lightest, darkest tones I've seen in quite some time. Because as this film progresses, it doesn't seem like it's a dark movie, but then it hits you at something and it all comes together and forms one of these... Jesus. It forms one of these unique feelings in the worst way possible. This movie targets you deep into your core and makes you feel extremely uncomfortable at times.
I really like this film. Here's the perspective on this. I would never know what it would be like to be black, to be stereotype, prejudice, everything. I have no idea what it's like. This movie is able to put you into the mindset of a black man in modern day America. The way that Mr. Peele presents it, you're terrified. I was looking through the eyes of Chris Washington, and I was terrified. Everything from the thought of the sunken place, just the entire atmosphere of the film, it's skin crawling. It's almost disgusting. Mr. Peele did such a great job at creating the narrative for this movie, but also he directed the hell out of this movie. Did you have any gripes about this movie?
I didn't necessarily care for the lightheartedness of Chris's TSA friend. I will admit that it did need to be there to play into the story a little bit. I just felt like it did slightly mess with the tone a little bit.
When we do these, I really try to find something to nitpick at, and I cannot find anything to nitpick at in this movie. I loved this movie. It was a fantastic piece of cinema. Who do you think would enjoy this movie?
Get Out is one of those movies that you need to watch with an open mind. I personally think that if you are a fan of unconventional horror, or let's go with post-horror, movies like It Follows and The Witch, Get Out definitely fits up there with those. It definitely holds its own. If you go in with an open mind and have little to no knowledge about this movie, you will find yourself very sucked in. And I feel that this could go for your casual moviegoers, this could go for your horror buffs, this could go for your thrill seekers. This movie has a little bit of something to offer for everybody. What did you score Get Out, Bishop?
I scored Get Out at a 7.9 out of 10.
And I scored Get Out at an 8. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed our review. If you have any other thoughts, comments, concerns, be sure to drop them in the comments below. We're going to get out now.